everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Ellie. So today's video is just going to be a quick one, but I thought I would show you my 3 favourite books that I read in 2017. This year I think was the best reading year I've ever had. I've currently read 72 books and I'm probably only going to finish one more by the end of the year, but I'm really proud of myself for the reading year that I had. And yeah, I just thought I would share with you my top 3 books of the year. So the first one was Wild Like Me by Louise Pentland, and she is actually one of my favourite YouTubers. If you don't know who she is, her channel name is A Sprinkle of Glitter, and when I found out she's bringing out a book, of course I had to buy it, and I just really enjoyed it. It was such a feel-good read and it was an easy read, and I loved the characters in it, and I felt like the characters were quite relatable. Although the main character is in a completely different stage of her life to me, I still felt that she was very relatable. It was a funny read, and a lot of the time I actually couldn't put this down. I think I read this literally within like 1 or 2 days just because I was so engrossed in it, and I really enjoyed it. And of course it's not young adult like the rest of the books I read, and I think even if you aren't a fan of her YouTube channel, this is still a good book to read. And yeah. My next favourite book was After the Fire by Will Hill, and I have mentioned this, I think it was in my November reading wrap up because I read this back in October, but if you haven't watched that video I will just talk about it a little bit now. But basically it's about this girl called Moonbeam, and she lives in kind of like a convent, and she's lived there all her life. She doesn't know any different. The group that she lives with is run by a man called Father John, and his way of life is very different to the rest of the world, and he tells everyone living there that the people in like the outside world are bad and that they all need to stay where they are. People leave and eventually she is left on her own, and basically the government come in, I'm pretty sure it's the government, and they rescue everyone from inside this compound. And it basically is her telling her story of what it was like to live there, and the chapters, every other chapter is told from the past and the present. So you'll have a chapter of her telling a story from the past and then a chapter of the present day, which I really liked, and it wasn't too confusing, and I think it really added to the story the way that was written. I think I've summed that up pretty bad because it was 2 months ago that I have read this, so if you would like a better explanation then do check out my November reading wrap up because I went into a lot more detail. But again, this is something that is not at all like what I would usually read. It's not a romance book at all, and I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I would definitely like to check out more of Will Hill's works. And my final favourite book, which I've seen a lot of people said they have enjoyed this year, so I know I'm not alone in this, and that is The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas, and I've literally just finished reading this and I loved it. It hits you really hard. It's told from the point of view of Star, and she sees her best friend get shot, and he is shot basically because he's black. He wasn't doing anything wrong, a police officer shot him, and it basically just tells the story of what happens after the shooting and her dealing with it, and it's so real and it really does make you think, and it doesn't hide the fact that this happens in real life, and it really does give into detail and puts things into perspective. And this is just such a real book. I don't really know how else to describe it. It just tells you the truth, and it's horrible to sit and read this knowing that this actually happens in real life and that this is happening right now. And I feel this book does kind of have the power to change the way people think, and I feel like everyone should read this book. I would definitely try more of her works because this was just such a good read. I honestly don't know what else to say about it because I'm pretty sure you've probably seen quite a few favourites videos and reading wrap-ups that include this book, because it's just such a good book. Another thing I love with this book is how family is such a big important part of this story, and how Star's family protect each other and their love is in it, which I find isn't a very big thing in a lot of books, especially like young adult books. The main characters and the teenagers tend to not get along with their family or find them annoying, but in this book family is really important, and I really loved that aspect of it. So sorry this was a really quick video, but I thought I would just do my top 3 books that I read this year, because if I did any more I would be sat here going on for absolutely ages. Let me know in the comments below what your favourite books that you read this year were, or if you've read any of those and what your opinions were, because I would love to hear from you. I'm sorry if they weren't the best of explanations, but I just wanted to get a video up on this channel because I have been slacking, but hopefully in 2018 I will get a bit better at uploading on this channel. I was quite busy on my other channel doing Vlogmas, which is one of the reasons why this channel kind of hasn't had many uploads recently, so I do apologise for that, but trust me, I have plenty of bookish filled themed video ideas for 2018, so you should definitely subscribe if you haven't already, and if you have, of course, thank you so much for sticking around. But I'm just gonna end that video here. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time with my next video. Bye!